We hear a lot of advertising explaining how wonderful the jobs are that are coming to Ohio. However, none of the gas and oil companies ever mention the hidden costs of fracking, both human costs and financial costs. And what I'd like to share with you today are just 4 of these hidden costs that could destroy your home and devastate our small community. First of all, let me talk a little bit about when drinking water becomes poison. An example from one of the individuals who was desecrated by this, Bonnie Burnett. Her drinking water went sour, it was poisoned, and in an article someone asked her about the stress, and she said, oh, could you imagine? But try to think of the impact of just realizing there is no way to repair the damage of a poison well, no way to sell poison property, and no way to afford the cost of hauling water, an estimated $5,000 a year if you buy your own hot truck and horse. In Pennsylvania, there was a parallel kind of cost comparison when Jared and Heather McKinney discovered that their drinking water had become poisoned. Immediately, the financial value of their house dropped from $250,000 to $35,000. You might think to yourself, well, hey, this is, maybe my chances are pretty good that it won't hit me, maybe my poor neighbor will get it. Well, let's talk a little bit, or let me share a few things about the frequency of failures by our oil and gas companies. The EPA reported that environmental violations occur at a rate of 12 per day at the Marcellus drilling sites, which are where we're standing. In a month, that would be 432 violations. For a year, it would be about 5,184 violations. So we can't really rely on that in any way. We've also heard on many of the advertisements how wonderful it is in terms of the new jobs that are coming in for Ohio. Oh yeah, well 80% of those new jobs are filled by workers from outer state. It's also interesting that it takes 20 workers to drill and set up a well, but it only takes 1 individual to run the well. When you think of that in terms of jobs, what are these 19 people doing wandering around? One last item, the high number of stillborn and calves in one article attributed to consumption of poison water. Flaming tap water, red, and radioactive cows drinking near fracking sites. What happened? Well, they quarantined those waters around the drink water, but what occurred is that the 28 cows